Welcome to the show. Again, we thank God that you can view the show, whether it's in your living room, your bedroom, your kitchen, or any other area in your home. We're excited to bring you D.A.P Ministry Presents. I'm your host, the Reverend Willie Williams Jr. Excited about what we're going to give to you today. As always, a great opportunity because school is closed and there's a whole lot of activities for recreation for our young people. We need to be mindful of that. But also, we want our viewers to know that they can still tell their family and their friends, even individuals that are coming down to visit the city, to go to the Lower Ninth Ward and see the devastation, but really see the restoration that the Lord will do. I always go down at least once a week, and something has just happened this Friday, the ribbon cutting of the Pete Sanchez building. What an exciting event that has taken place, and we're looking forward to more activities. I told you about with the Nord organization. They have Olympicized pool. All that's going to be taking place because young people need to recreate. They need to have a place where they can stay out of trouble, and it's going to be a long, hot summer. But also, we're excited about our co-host. He's here with us in the person of Reverend Darryl Smith, also known as D.K. Smith. He's our co-host. He works with us and works in the community. He has his finger on the pulse of what's taking place, but he has a saying from AM 940, a radio station that he uses at 3 p.m. I listen to him all the time. What's that saying?
Thank you, Pastor. It's from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m., I'll take you home in style with a smile. I
like that because it's refreshing when I'm driving and a lot of times either going to church activities or just traveling through the city, I hear not only that you play good music, but you give good information. And I don't know if you got anything for us today?
Well, yeah, I got some information to give. Let me first of all, of course, invite our list. I keep saying listeners because I'm on the radio.
Watch it now. Next thing you're gonna say, some people got a face for radio.
You know some people that got a face for radio.
Don't do that.
But no, we want to invite our viewers to check out this show and others on YouTube. All they have to do is go to YouTube.com, use the search engine, and put in D.A.P. Ministries TV show, and you'll find this and a couple other shows that we have, a couple of hundred really, shows that we have. And so we have viewers from Afghanistan who are in the Army, and we have viewers in Italy, Bosnia, France, which I just said Italy in a sense, and well, in the neighborhood too, locally.
At that moment.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Chicago. You made somebody move from Chicago.
She's coming down. Yeah, she's got a little place down here and everything. So yeah, and I have a friend that's in Los Angeles, California, Althea Granberry, and she's being digitized because she listens to us on the radio, but now she's looking at us on YouTube. On YouTube and everything. But I wanted to say this announcement goes to each and every one, whether you're in the continental United States, but I'm saying mainly emphasizing the continental United States because I don't know what they do in those foreign countries, but remind you that school is out for one thing, but remind you that you always should wear your seatbelts. Seatbelts should be worn at all times. Not only you, but your passenger, and even front and back.
People in the back seat too.
It's back seat too, because they emphasized this that state troopers were out doing Memorial Day, during the weekend, but it's not just during the Memorial Weekend holiday that they were out. They're still out there, and as the saying goes, click it or ticket. And so, if I were you, and you have a bad habit of not buckling your seatbelts, make sure you put your seatbelt on unless you want to pay that fine. And the fines are getting more stiffer now because the trial period in the traffic court in New Orleans Parish is you cannot contest the ticket. You'd have to go to trial. And having said that, that's
cost of court.
Yeah, well, cost of court and
Getting a lawyer.
and you know, it's a pilot program that they just started, and so be aware of that if you're in the city of New Orleans and you get a ticket, because the pilot program is going to be lasting for 30 days. But I was listening to a lawyer that said, well, most defense lawyers will continue the case to after 30 days, so that if this pilot situation will extend it, that's one thing. But the other part of that problem is this: you have police officers who should be out, besides writing tickets, doing the duty and everything.
Well, defending the city. In other words, making you safe to walk the street. Because we do know there's a crime situation that's taking place in the city. But it's not just here in New Orleans, it's all over. Because I definitely want to be reminded to pray for the people in Houston, Texas. It reminded me a little bit of Katrina, when some of them worse than Katrina, because some people's houses got washed away, and they got washed away with their houses. There are people that got washed away in their automobiles.
Right, I saw that.
Yeah, it's tragic, really tragic.
But
so
I did want to go back.
We can identify with
right. In fact, we're going to talk about that in a little bit, but because we've reflected on the 10-year anniversary that's coming up. But I also want to say that because of the fact that if you have the police officers in court, they're tied up for 3 hours, next thing you know, crime may be rampant. But this too, remember this, that if the witness who is a police officer does not show, case is dismissed.
Right.
So the city may be losing money by saying, well, you got to go to court, you can't contest it and everything. And next thing you know, if no one's there.
Well, it's creating a problem because definitely it's like military soldiers that go into war. If they don't go to war and stay home, then they're not defending the country. So that's just like if a police is taken away from what he normally does, then he's at traffic court being held up. Then there's somebody maybe perpetrating a crime.
That's right.
So the best solution is buckle up.
Buckle up. And then that's my public safety announcement, because really realize one thing, because the sad part about it is it's so easy to forget, but no. Now, speaking of that, and I said that because I know summer school summertime is here, and we usually do this in the seasonal sense, because at the end of the year, during the holidays, we do go back and reflect on things, and we're out of spring, between spring and summer, so I think this would be a good time for us to reflect in,
coming close to Katrina.
Coming close to Katrina.
Yeah.
And realizing that
10 years.
Yeah, 10 years.
In August it'll be 10 years.
In August it'll be 10 years.
Yeah. I like what you say about that, to reflect about maybe the progress of certain areas and certain activities. Believe it or not, the population in the city is up over to the extent.
Is it post Katrina?
The
highest since post Katrina.
Higher than post Katrina. So there's an increase of more citizens that have come back now. But here's the other problem. There are pockets of where they're still lacking people in different communities. When we talk a lot about the Lower Ninth Ward, I drive down there a whole lot, and I can see a whole lot of blighted, desolate, even lots overgrown, and you can see those people are not back. I mean, it's almost for somebody that ever been to war, because I have a nephew and he's been to Baghdad, Afghanistan, Baghdad, and he said when he first came for Katrina, after Katrina, he said he compared it to the bombing over in Baghdad. He said
a war zone.
Yeah, it looked like a war zone when he first came back. But he stayed over Baghdad, I think, about 2 years. But he said he didn't want to see any more when he came, because he was stationed over in Afghanistan.
Well, you know what? As I think about it, and as we could think about it, the Circle food store is reopened.
That's a good thing.
The Carver Theater.
That's a good thing. You said that. I think the mayor had his State of the Union at the Carver.
State of the City.
Yeah, State of the City. I say Union. State of the City. Yeah.
Yeah, that was on Thursday. Good. And so it's good to see some of the things that's back. And some things are coming back. We got new hotels that's growing up in the city, and I'm saying growing up, it's being built and everything.
So what's happening on the corner of Rampart and Canal Street?
That's where the Woolworths used to be.
It's gone now.
Yeah.
Tore down completely.
I saw that. So, man. I thought they was going to remodel, but they rebuilding. It's going to be a whole new building.
Totally new. So a lot of things that old landmarks are going,
Yeah.
and like you say, 10 years later, how are we looking since Katrina? And like I say, going back to some of the pockets of the city are still not built back up, but some of the other parts of the city is looking pretty good. Looking pretty good.
I represent Uptown. Uptown represent.
So y'all looking good uptown?
We're looking good, except for, I dare say, the streets, Louisiana.
So at least
Napoleon Avenue.
But y'all working on something that has never been there. Is that for the drainage situation?
Yeah.
And so that's something that's going to protect you in the future.
I know it's a work in progress, but yeah,
that can be difficult.
Yeah, and you can imagine. Well, we have a new shopping center right there at Claiborne and.
So I'm saying new stuff.
Yeah.
New stuff. Yeah.
But the sad part, and I'm saying sad part. I'm not really complaining, but it's just everything is one lane now. And if you don't have the patience to be in the lane, like just sitting in.
Can I give you some wise advice? Progress is slow.
Yeah. Tell that to somebody else. I know that already.
Progress is slow.
Give that to the people that's listening.
Look, I know how you feel about that, because that one lane is like, we're not used to that. But progress sometimes can be slow, but you'd rather to be slow than not to be show. In other words, imagine if they don't do it right. Then you got to dig the streets back up and do it all over again. And look, this city is known for doing things wrong and then come back and getting it right.
Can I testify? When I was driving the streetcar, when I was on the streetcar for 2 years before before the Lord blessed me with a vehicle, that they had to redo the tracks because
on St. Charles Street.
On St. Charles Avenue, because the pilings, the cross pilings that they used were termite ridden, and then they replaced it with this plastic piling, which they could have did.
The first time they could have did the first time. But to come to find out, the pilings that we put down, the rail crossings, they're termite infested. Some say they weren't treated. They didn't treat it right, because I know when they probably purchased those cross ties, they probably were already treated or wasn't treated properly and stuff.
Yeah.
But most of the time, it makes sense to get them. The railroad, Norfolk Southern, they use Creosote on top.
Right. That's it. You know what? I have another public service announcement.
Okay, what you got?
The other public service announcement, if you live in the city of New Orleans, or bear yet, here anywhere in the deep south, anywhere you see these little flying termites at night, turn your lights off. I'm just saying that. They're attracted to the light. No.
They suggest that you keep your lights on.
Oh, they do?
Yeah. They say that way you can find out if you have a termite infestation. Because if you turn your lights out, you won't be able to see if they're coming out.
You know what? I take that back, because even though they're the flying termites, these are not the wood-eating termites.
No, for the most. The thing about it, though, that they give an indication of the other blind. Termites are blind. The ones that eat your wood, they're blind.
That's true too. Yeah.
And so all they do is eat all day and all night, but you can't tell until something in your house starts to collapse and stuff like that. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Well, I guess I'm saying turn the lights off because
they say that. They say that most people, because you don't want the aggravation and the swarming over you and stuff like that. It just gets disgusting. But they suggest most people that do the pest, the controllers and stuff like that, they say that is a great opportunity to find out if you have an infestation of termites. So don't turn your lights out. Keep the lights on. That way you can find out if it's in your walls or somewhere. That way you can find the trace, and then you can get somebody to come and do termite inspection for you.
Okay, well,
I know what you're saying, man. Because certain areas, man, could I tell you this?
Mm-hmm.
We were at a church service one night, and the flying termites were flying. And somebody said, somebody opened up the door, and they were all in the church.
My goodness.
Oh, yeah, it was terrible. While the preacher was preaching, he said, that's all right. God can deal with termites. They're not going to bite you. They're just going to fly a little bit. You couldn't convince that to some of the people, because he even made the statement. He said, that's all right. If they get in your weave, it's your weave.
Yeah, I know. Well, you know what? I guess because it's the fact that a wing situation. Well, let me ask you another question. I guess this is because we're in this season, and I never said I knew everything. Now, when people put the little aluminum foil around the tree, you know why they do that? Around the oak trees and everything.
Is it a prevention for the termite?
No, it's prevent those caterpillars.
Oh, that's what that is about?
Yeah, they put those. If you see the little aluminum foil around
I
the
see
trees,
that.
they put that so that caterpillars can't climb
Can't
up
climb
in the tree.
up. Okay.
Yeah, and so because they make their nest and they become. Whoa! Look at this, a butterfly.
That
Metamorphosis.
Yeah, that thing really gives you a bad sting.
Oh
if
yeah,
it falls
especially
on you and stuff like that. Yeah.
But yeah, that's why tradition wise, you see the.
I wonder why that was.
The aluminum foil.
I thought they were doing solar, giving that tree some solar.
It took me